Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cha Cha Mystique, and you now tuned into Live at Radio. We doing the expose right now, Sex, Money, Murder, and we have no other than Rob Lowe Matrix definitely in the building. So I want you guys to go get your drinks, go get your blunts or whatever it is that you do, snacks and all that, and come back so we can get right to it.
And I hear him say, and I hear him say, and I hear him say, I hear him say, and I hear him say, when they should be saying.
Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So strikers, no strike me.
Yeah, strikers don't strike me with your hating asses. But without any further ado, Rob Lowe definitely in the building. What's up, Rob?
What's going on? What's going on? That's double M, us never them.
Yes, us never them. So, a little background story. We had shot the interview, but it was so much going on that day. It didn't come out right. And I really wanted to do this in real time. And I knew it could be better. So I told him to pull up and let's do it again. And you were such a great sport about it. Thank you. Because a lot of people would have been like, nah, not right now. Or they would have made me wait forever to really get this cracking. But what's up, though?
You already know, man. You know, it's nothing. You family, Chilo, you family. So you already know what it is.
I'm graduated. I graduated. So when you see me, that's my new name, Chilo. Yes. And if you don't refer to me like that, it's a problem. But anyway,
Definitely.
so let's get to it. So the infamous Sex, Money, Murder. We're gonna get into that. I kind of want to talk about a then versus now, its true intentions and where is that today. You know what I'm saying? I really want to dive deep into that. But before we go there, just, let's get a little background of you, where you from and how it all got started.
All right. For those that don't know, Rob Lowe, aka the Matrix, born in Harlem, born and raised in Harlem. Bronx conditioned me a little something, but I'm worldwide. Everybody know what it is. Anybody from Saint Nick Convent, what I'm saying, all the way to the east side, Murder First. Everybody know what it's sitting for, and then if you go to the Bronx, anywhere from Patterson up to the View, up to Homegrown, everybody know what it is,
Yes, definitely. But you started in this lifestyle quite young, and you built quite a reputation of putting in work in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it that triggered that survival for you to actually be there at such a tender age like that?
Well, you know how it is, product of our own environment, the oldest of 8 kids. Mama Bear had to hold it down on her own. When I got to the tender age of, being able to go out there and help out, that's what I did. That's what a man do, even at a young boy's age. You become a man, when you pull them slacks up and you go out there and you start bringing money in. I knew my mom, couldn't really do it on her own. So, I was exposed to the streets at the ripe age of 12. I was started getting money at 12. On 19th between 5th and Lenox. And that's where it all began. Once I got a taste of them streets and I knew that I could bring money in and that smile on Mama Bear face, knowing it made things a little bit easier and the way my siblings looked up to me and everything, it made it all worthwhile.
Yes. But that wasn't necessarily the case. I was looking at your story and it seemed like she wasn't so happy that you were in the streets. So what happened?
Well,
And
because
how did she even find out? Like, did she find drugs? Was it like the Biggie story, or she saw
yeah,
you on a
yeah,
corner?
she because it's like me and my brother. So we used to get our little money, and we had like a little closet with a padlock. So we used to stash all our materialistic things. So she'd never see what was going on at first. So we would, leave. We would leave home. We'd take clothes, put it in our book bag, and then when we leave, we'd go to the building, maybe 3 buildings down, go into the lobby or to the roof, change clothes, go to school, fly, and come back. But it's just one day, my mom, she caught us, you know what I mean? I don't know, I don't remember, it was so long ago, but I don't know if she was on a bus or she was going to the supermarket or something, but she seen the gear that me and my brother had on. And she knew damn well that she didn't buy that, and so she ain't say nothing. She rocked our asses, you know what I mean? We went to school and she broke that padlock. And when she broke that padlock, all hell broke loose. That's when she knew, you know what I mean? So at first, she was kind of like, nah, I don't want this. I don't want this for y'all. That's not for y'all. I want y'all to go to school, do the right thing, and it's going to be my way. If y'all can't abide by these rules, then y'all got to get out. So she actually really put us out. It was kind of like a protesto. Parents do that. You know what I'm saying? Put you out, you being in the streets, and then you wanna cry, come back home because you got nowhere to go. That wasn't the case with us. You know what I mean? We was doing big things. So we went out, we paid a little fee, to rent a room. We went in the room, hooked it up and everything. And, we was going for a couple of days, man. And it was the other way around. Mama Bear was axing around like, if you see my sons, just tell them, I'm looking for them. I love them to please come home. And so when we came home, this probably maybe like 5-6 days later, we had a sit down, had a little talk. She was like, yo, well, if this was y'all going to do, then I want to be on top of it. I want to make sure y'all doing the right thing. I want to make sure y'all not out there getting jerked or, get put in harm's way. And the rest is history.
Yeah. So you moved to Brooklyn and,
Mm-hmm.
you became a leader out there. So can you tell us your experience in Brooklyn and how that shaped what we see Rob Lowe, aka Matrix tonight?
All right. So the thing everybody know, Brooklyn is Brooklyn. You can't take nothing from Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn is like a whole world by itself, and I'm not gonna lie, I was upset when she moved us out there, because like I said, I have family out there, but I never really, was into Brooklyn like that. You know what I'm saying? Like home was Harlem, you know. So when we first got out there, like I said, I couldn't stand it, you know what I mean? But I vow one thing, like, even though Brooklyn taught me a lot and that it kind of conditioned me too and brought character to the person I became to this day, I vowed never to lose my Harlem swag. Like I just couldn't become all the way Brooklyn. Like I learned the deviousness of it. I learned, the hustle mentality of it, the stick up kid mentality of it. I learned all of those traits, but I kept my Harlem swag. I kept that leader quality about me. So, every trenches that I was put in, I was a fighter. So, Brooklyn love that. They love to get grind. They love to get down and all of that. So when they seen this little young, looking kid knowing how to fight and all of that, and, they just started to warm up to me. And then, eventually they say, yo, you know what? We like his swag. We like the way he moved. And, and thus I became a leader out there in Brooklyn.
Yeah. So you was doing your thing out there. Then you had to come back to Harlem. Can you tell us, if you can, the situation that led to you having to leave Brooklyn?
Well, it was, well, let's just say a situation happened to where I just had to leave. It comes a time in your life where you get tested and, you either going, you either got to shit or you got to get off the potty, man. And, I chose the shit. And, the situation that happened, I had to relocate, you know what I'm saying? So for reasons that I can't get into, I'm quite sure people can read it between the lines, but that forced me back to Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I went on a run and I had to come back to Harlem.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say something and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
All right.
BMM.
Ballhead Murderman. That's my other family. That's my second family. You know, like I said, for a lot of people don't know, you know, I was living a double life. You know, I was running with SMM, but BMM, that was my brand. That was my baby. You know, that's a little clique that I formed in Harlem. You know, back in the days, we all had ball heads. You know, and we all was Murderman. You know what I'm saying?
So
So
was
it
it
was
like
self.
straight razor ball head or like light
Nah, all the way
razor?
like the straight ball. We was 16, 17, 18 with ball heads. We was the ball head murder men. You know, and it's a funny story because, you know, a lot of people don't know I was into the music industry back in the days, you know, and you know, we had a deal as BMM, and then, you know, me and my brother CeeLo, we had separate rap deals. But a lot of labels didn't want to sign us because of Onyx. You get what I'm saying? Even though we was the first
Onyx
ones
the
with the,
group?
yes, Onyx the
Shut
group,
them up, shut
because
them up dead. Yeah.
yeah, because they got put out first with that single, and so it made it look like they was the ones first with the ball head army fatigue thing, but that's not true. BMN was the first young dudes out of Harlem with the ball head, the shiny ball heads, army fatigue, straight murderers. That's BMM.
Wow. So did that come before Sex Money Murder?
BMM came before, like maybe I want to say a year or two before I met Pistol. Before I met Pistol. But this
Okay.
was like this was like 90, 91.
Okay. So you out there, you got BMM. At what age were you during that time?
I was young. Like I said, I was 16, 17. 16, 17. I left because I had caught a juvenile tryon bid, and I did 18 months. So I caught that. I was 15 going on 16. I came home 17. And that's when, you know what I'm saying, that situation happened and I came back to Harlem. So I was exactly 17.
Now, were the Low Brothers a part of that?
Low Brothers is another entity. All the Low Brothers is we all actually blood brothers. You know what I'm saying? Not the blood gang. I'm talking about physical blood brothers. So shout out to T Capone. You know what I'm saying? My road dog Tito. Um, he the one who gave me the handle Rob Lowe. You know, because you know I came back to Harlem, and you know, the females was on me. They was on me, and he was like, "Yo, you know what? You remind me of that actor, Rob Lowe." You know what I'm saying? And it stuck. So that's where the name came from. That's where the Lowe name came from. You get what I'm saying? And so when Rob Lowe took on a life of its own, all my brothers took on a Lowe moniker. They took on a Lowe handle, and that's how the Lowe Brothers was formed.
Yes. So I'm gonna name each Low Brother, and I hope I got everybody.
All
And I
right,
want you to tell me a significant story about that brother.
right.
So we're gonna start with Rucklow.
Dangerous. Dangerous. You know, like I said, that's my blood brother, but he's also the big Crip. You know, he brought Crip in to the East Coast, and he just, man, you know what I mean. So not to get into, you know, nothing that I really can't get into, but I'm gonna tell you, one thing about Ruck, you know, he never let the fact that I was the big blood and he was a big Crip get in the way of our family. You know, none of my family did. You know, and it was times where, you know, a situation happened where, you know, he got formed on by a bunch of homies, you know what I mean? And I came out and, you know, like, yo, look, this is what it is. I get it. You know, I'm not with the set tripping and all of that, but if y'all want to shoot the fair one with him, then so be it, you know, because I already know the pain that Ruck gonna put in, you know what I mean? And you know, he put on, you know. So anybody, you know, from the Patterson, Mount Haven, Millbrook, Mitchell's area, they know about OG Ruck, man. They know about him. Very, very dangerous, extremely dangerous.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. I know where you went for a minute.
Oh, I said Aunt Low.
Aunt Low, free Aunt Low. You know what I'm saying? Free my brother Aunt Low, man. Murderer. I could say that because that's on record. Murderer. My brother's serving a 37 to life bid for a homicide he caught in the Bronx. Straight murderer, straight stick up kid, drop it like it's hot. That was his moniker. To this day, you go through that area, Patterson area, whatever, drop it like it's hot. They want to murder you. They don't like that word because of the pain that he inflicted over there, you know. But yeah, man, free my brother. He been down since '97, man. You know, him and Ruck was like thick as thieves, man. So you know, ain't too much to be said about that. You know, both of them was running together. You know, and they was extremely fed and extremely dangerous, man. But yeah, free Aunt Low, man.
Can you hear me now? Okay, Mad Low.
Mad Low, quiet assassin. You know, that's like my twin. That's the one who looked, you know what I'm saying, exactly like me. And I'm gonna get into it because this is public record too. So one time, and he's younger than me. You know, but all the brothers I'm the oldest, but Mad Low is younger than Ruck, Aunt Low. You know, so it was a incident that happened 1992. So we up in the Bronx. You know, my mom's was staying on Trinity Avenue, and we up there by Prospect. And so you know, we out and about, you know, celebrating, you know, my mama bear birthday, and some knuckleheads just, you know, wanted to test the waters, man. They wanted to test the waters, man, and you know, that didn't turn out too well for them. So long story short, you know, 3 of them got hit. My brother and me, Ruck, and my brother got arrested for the shooting. I got caught with the gun smoking. I got caught with the smoking gun. Detectives was sitting in an unmarked car, which was a taxi back in the day. That's how they used to ride around in taxis and shit. You know, they witnessed the shooting. Me and Mad Low had on the same exact thing. We had on green army fatigue, army suit with the bald head. So we ended up getting caught. Me, Ruck, and Mad Low ended up getting caught for the shooting. Like I said, I got caught with the gun smoking. But Mad Low was talking so much shit, right? Because they drove us back to the scene of the crime. And the individuals that was hit, one of them was on the ground and people was they was just telling you, yeah, that's him. So Mad Low was like, yo, he just was going crazy. Like, you rat motherfuckers, I'm gonna finish the job. Y'all better hope they don't let me go because I'm gonna come back and So I guess the police ain't like, you know, what he was saying. And so they try to flip the case. They try to say that I pulled out the gun, gave it to him. He did the shooting, passed me the gun back, and that's how that went. At the end of the day, I beat the gun. I beat the case. I went to the grand jury. It was a no true bill. You know, my brother Mad Low, he ended up taking the fall for the case, held it down. You know what I'm saying? He held it down, but he was a minor, so they couldn't give him much. You know what I mean? Me and Ruck beat it. You know what I'm saying? No true bill. Me and Ruck beat it. They indicted Mad Low, but he held it down, man. That's the thing about the Low brothers. No matter what, you know, who get caught, however get caught, they gonna hold it down, man. You know, shout out to Mad Low, man. Love you, bro.
Shout out to Mad Low. Now, why y'all called him Mad Low? Was he mad?
Because
is there like a story behind that?
He always have an ice grill, like always. Like he always have an ice grill. Like you hardly ever catch him smiling. He only smiling when he amongst family, when he amongst the brothers, and we inside drinking somewhere, chilling, vibing. But when he out and about, the bald head shining, bandana, army fatigue, he got the ice grill on. So all the chicks, everybody's like, yo, why he always angry? Why he's so mad? And you know, because that wasn't his name at first. I forgot Low original name, but yeah, that became Mad Low because everybody kept saying he had the ice grill, like he always looked mean, angry.
Yes. Now, before we move forward, I'm sorry, you guys that's watching. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but it's acting crazy today. But it's in and out. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to push through anyway. Okay, CeeLo.
CeeLo, lyricist, was one of the most illest besides Ruck. CeeLo and Ruck was the illest, the nastiest, is I'm not saying was, is the nastiest dudes I ever see to spit lyrics, man. You know, no disrespect to nobody out there, nobody signed. You got a couple of you. Everybody know you got a lot of people that's not signed. That's probably the nicest dudes that you're gonna ever hear, man. Ruck and CeeLo, them two is two of them, and Low was just ill, man. You know, and my brother, man, shout out to CeeLo, man. My brother, he was kind of like my shadow, you know. Even though he, eventually he kind of like broke off it and started getting a lot of money doing this thing, but Low was the first brother to say, you know what, I'm done with the streets, man, and I'm a fly straight, So he after the birth of his daughter, he just decided to leave the streets alone, man, and he started doing the right thing, man. But everybody that knows CeeLo, like he's one of the most humblest. Like he might have been the most liked Low brother, because everybody, he just was cool with everybody. Rest in peace. He battled DMX. DMX took his hat off to Low. DMX loved Low. DMX used to come and get Low to battle dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's how nasty Low is, man. He just decided to hang his hat up and do the right thing, man. Love you, bro.
Yeah. So, but why y'all called him CeeLo? Was he good at CeeLo?
Nasty. Well, his first name, his first name is Corey. His first name is Corey. So,
okay.
It used to be Corey High. It used to be Corey High and Rob Low. But then when we formulated the Low brothers, and he always loved to play CeeLo. He always loved to gamble, and he was nice at it. So 4, 5, 6. That became his moniker, CeeLo.
Okay. Solo.
Shout out to Solo, man. Charlotte's finest, North Carolina. Solo was really never part of the streets. He was another one that was doing the right thing out there. He was just known for being nasty with that karate shit. Kicking dudes' heads off their shoulders and all of that. Him and Ruck really grew up together out of Patterson Projects. They was raised by my grandparents, rest their soul. So Ruck and Solo came up in Patterson. That's how I started to come to the Bronx, visiting my brothers, my grandparents and everything. So they was in everything, like from karate class and, gymnastics, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So Solo was kind of like, he got caught up in a couple of incidents because he's a Low brother. But that really ain't his cup of tea. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. He'd get busy if he had to. But, you know what I'm saying? My brother wasn't no killer. He was a fighter, So Solo, he just, he got the name Solo because he always did his thing solo. Everything that he did, it wasn't like he never really kind of like ran with the Low brothers unless it was static or unless it was like a family function or something. He really did a lot of things, solo by himself. We both went to Monroe College, he got his degree and everything. Unfortunately, my life of crime led me from not finishing up, but then he was the first to go down south and build a house from the ground up, man. And he's out there living well with his family, man. So shout out to Solo, man.
Yeah, and shout out to all the Low brothers. I appreciate that. I never really, I was looking at all of your past videos, and I never really heard you spoken. I mean, you mentioned them, but I kind of was intrigued and wanted to know more about the Low brothers. Like, you hear so much about Ruck. All right, but what about everybody else? So, I felt, compelled to ask you about each one of them because I was curious.
Yeah.
So you went back in Harlem. When did you encounter Fritz, Harlem Kingpin?
Well, it was like passing and going. It wasn't nothing to where, like, a lot of people say they knew Fritz or they dealt with Fritz. From my understanding, like, Fritz hardly ever dealt with anybody. So my thing with Fritz is just of passing or rubbing elbows with individuals who knew of him or knew him. You know what I'm saying? And it was a situation. One of my mans, rest in peace. I remember. I can't remember his name, but I remember. Fritz paid him like, 1,200, 1,500 to smack some dude head off or whatever, So that's my knowledge of Fritz, you know what I'm saying? Just from passing by, seeing, knowing who he was, but we never really had no dealings direct. Like we was tied, unknowingly because of individuals that he was hitting. And then them individuals was in turn hitting me, and so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dre, rest in peace to Dre. Shout out to Howie. Shout out to that whole team. But shout out to Scotty, rest in peace. Johnny Fresh, Junebug, rest in peace. Shout out to Howie. Yeah, we had an ill team. We had an ill team in the early 90s, man. But yeah, so that's my knowledge of Fritz. My man Dre, rest in peace, getting things from Fritz and, what I'm saying, bringing it back to the family and breaking bread. That's my my dealings with that.
Yes. So you encountered a rough patch though. You did get shot up 6 times. That was in Harlem, right?
Yeah, that was in my project. That was in St. Nick.
Yeah. So, but you was in a coma for 10 days. So while you was in that state, did you get any like visions? What was going on during that time period, or you just woke up and you didn't know what was going on? You didn't, have any dreams or visions or any experiences while you was in the coma?
It's funny that you asked that, right? Because you hear stories, you hear people say these things, and then you wonder if it's true or not. But I'm gonna give it to you from word of mouth. When I was in that coma, I was like in a dream state, but it was like I was living like, it was like you dreaming. You get the only difference is that like I was on the same block doing the same thing, but everything was white. Everything was clean. Like I can't explain it. Like no dirt, no nothing. Everything was white. Like if I was just in a world of clouds or whatever.
You didn't hear no voice saying step into the light, right?
Nah, I ain't hear none of that. I ain't hear none of that. It's just like I was in the dream state. Like I was dreaming that I was out and about doing my thing on the block, whatever, chilling. But like I said, everything was just so pure and so white, and when I came to, I had all the tubes and the monitor hooked up to me because my heartbeat went flatline twice. I died twice. I died on the scene. They brought me back, rushed me to Harlem Hospital. My heartbeat went flatline again. And they brought me back and rushed me to OR. And, and it wasn't my time. I'm here to tell a story.
Yes, and I'm glad you're here. Because a lot of people, they go through stuff like that, near death experience, and then they wake up and they have like revelations and stuff like that. So that's why I asked what type of person you was after that. Did you go harder? What were you more cautious? What was happening?
That's a great question because people always say like things got to get worse before they get better, right? And that's what happened with me. It like 2 things that happen when when trauma happens to a person. It either scare you straight or it'll make you a monster. Me getting hit up like that, it made me a monster. Matter of fact, I was a monster before I got hit up. That shit made me a beast, a demon. You know what I mean? And I think from that time, from after I survived that for a few years moving forward, I probably was like the most fed on that west side of Harlem, man. I became a demon.
Yeah. So how long after did you ended up going back to the Bronx?
Well, I never like I was just dipping and dabbing, like I was going up, coming, going back because it's only a hop, skip, and a jump. The Willis Avenue Bridge, you know what I'm saying, or the Madison Avenue Bridge. So it ain't take a hot second for me to shoot over to the Bronx and then go back to Harlem. So that was a back and forth. That was an everyday thing, back and forth, back and forth. It was an everyday thing, Okay.
But when did you actually meet Pistol Pete?
This was 1992. I met Pistol. A family friend of mine was a DJ, and he was scheduled to DJ at a house party in Soundview. Shout out to house parties. Bring house parties back. The original house
Yes,
parties. You
with
know what I'm
the
talking
red
about?
cups
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, ain't
and
nothing like
people
those. You know
dancing
what I mean?
nasty in the
Yeah,
corners
yeah, yeah. Bring those
with
back, right?
somebody nasty ass, dry ass fried
yeah,
chicken. I miss that.
yeah. Shout out to that. So yeah, so he was scheduled to do an event at a house party in Soundview. So he asked me to accompany with him because he knew, he knew how I give it up, and he wanted to be safe, make sure he was good. So me, Mad Low, um, I think it might have been Ant Low. It might have been me, Mad Low, and Ant Low, and maybe one other. You know what I'm saying? But I know clearly it was Mad Low because I'm about to get into the situation of how me and Pete crossed paths. So we at the party, all is well. Everything is good. How that party shit is. You got a few chairs. Those people. Some people dancing wall to wall doing their thing, and some people want to play the wall. Some people want to sit in chairs. So I think Mad Low had a chair. He was chilling. You know what I'm saying? Just observing, watching everything, making sure there ain't no funny movements or nothing like that. So I'm in the back room with the family member. Um, he's doing the DJ thing. So next thing you know, I hear like a little scuffle noise going on. So when I come out in the room, I see my brother Mad Low getting into it with an individual. So it was like over a chair. Like he got up to go use the bathroom, and the individual sat in the chair. So when my brother came back, he like kind of like asked him nicely, like, "Yo, what's up? The chair situation." Son got buck wild. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, we not knowing like he's part of, you know what I'm saying, Pistol Pete and them crew, whatever, and so he swings on my brother. So my brother gets crazy on him. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So I run out. I see it. I see them about to form and jump my brother. So I gets busy. You know what I'm saying? So I knocked like two of them out. And then my brother came out fighting. So we beat the brakes. So we beat one. I beat one of them out their sneakers. They get to running. He running. I remember he ran out the exit. And I chased him down the stairs. And then I came back up. So I had the strap on me. So I went back. I'm like, yo, we gotta wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. So we wrapped it up. We come downstairs. So when we get downstairs and we go into the car to load up the DJ equipment, you just see a crowd of people coming. You know what I'm saying? A crowd of people coming. So once they got to us, they surrounded us. So they surrounded us, and then like the part of the crowd just part of like the Red Sea. And I remember an individual short like me walked through. He was just like, yo, so this is him? So like, yo, yeah, that's him, and all that, da, da, da. So he's like, yo, you know who I am? I'm like, yo, you know who I am? So he started smirking like, this little nigga don't know I kill him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, well, I'm telling you like this, I'm gonna take a couple of y'all with me. That's how this go down, because I had the hand on me. So he was like, yo, he's like, yo, this little nigga got a death wish. He said, but you know what? You got heart. I like you. So that's how that, and it was Pistol. It was Pete talking to me, man. He's like, yo, little nigga, where you from? I'm like, yo, I'm from Harlem. He's like, it's a long way from Harlem. You know what I mean? I said, yeah, well, I know how to find my way there. So we had a couple of words going back and forth. It was a little sarcastic thing, this, that, and the third. So his man was like, yo, smoke that nigga. So he turned on his man's like, yo, I wouldn't even have to be here if y'all would have handled y'all business in the first place. Word had is that he, said he fucked y'all niggas up. And y'all running, come get me. And lo and behold, he holding it down by himself. Matter of fact, he was like, yo, you know what? He was like, yo, I want you to be a part of my team. You know what I'm saying? So we pulled off. He said, yo, walk with me. So we started walking. And, we exchanged pleasantries and all that. Back in the days, it was beepers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So we exchanged beeper numbers and all of that. And that's how the story of Pistol Pete and Rob Lowe, that's how we got together, man. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So when you had that encounter with Pistol Pete, was he still a part of Kings at that time, or did it elevate to Sex Money Murder?
From my knowledge, I think it was still. It might have. It was Sex Money Murder, because I think it escalated from the lynch mob, and it became sex. Yeah, it was Sex Money Murder. Okay. He was Sex Money Murder.
So what was the exact moment where you became a part of the crew?
I remember an incident to where he paged me and he asked me, I was on my block. I was on 127th and St. Nick. He paged me and asked me what I was doing. So I told him I'm not doing nothing. So he was like, yo, I need to holler at you. So he said he was coming to see me. So he actually came to Harlem because he had a situation that he wanted to take care of. Somebody was he didn't like the way somebody was handling Nessa. At the end of the day, he used to call, Nessa his baby sister. Nessa's from 17th Street or whatever. So it was an incident where Nessa, I think, was trying to do her little hustle or put work out there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think her and Kev Frost had words or whatever. And so Pistol wanted to go and take care of that situation or whatever. But, I let him know, like, I grew up with Kev, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, look, I could holler at my son Tito, T Capone, and T Capone could holler at him and we could situate that. Because, Pete was on some Murder One shit. Not to take nothing from Kev Frost. Kev Frost get busy too. That's my son, you know what I mean? But, ain't nothing like fighting a beef that you don't know coming. A ghost beef is like one of the worst beef. You can't prepare yourself for that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when Pete was coming, nobody knew it. You know what I'm saying? So from that situation, you know what I'm saying? I got word. And I think, somehow they kind of like worked that out or whatever. And from that moment on, it was like, yo, where you at? Come. You know what I'm saying? We going over here. We doing this. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, yo, you know what? Sex, money, murder. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was like a different entity because, Pete had his crew. You know what I'm saying? He had his crew, but he always took the time out to see what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I got shot, you know what I'm saying? The whole situation when I got shot, came to see me and everything. And, and the situation happened, like, after they came and seen me, but, so he always just made sure I was good. And likewise, you know what I'm saying? I never hesitated. If he said, yo, look, I need you, blah, 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 I was there. No ifs, ands, and buts, no question that. And I think that's what drew me to him even more, was the loyalty. Like, no matter what, even though he knew I had my own thing going on, BMM, low bro, nothing didn't stop me from saying, yo, you know what? I'm over here. You know what I mean? And that's how we became like that.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought up BMM. I asked you this before, and I'm going to do it again because we're here. How did that affect BMM? Like, the members of BMM, did they feel some type of way? Was it like did they reject the idea of sex, money, murder? What was that like when you was talking to your BMM members about sex, money, murder?
They actually embraced it because Pistol was a legend. He was an icon. You know what I'm saying? So they actually they liked the idea, and like I said, I was a leader. So it's not really much you can do. I mean, I'm not going to do nothing that's going anything, my actions didn't come back to bite BMM in the ass. Like, anything that I did outside of BMM, it was a isolated incident to where I handled mine by myself. I never got BMM into a situation to where it would jeopardize, their lives, unless it was a BMM beef. You get what I'm saying? So I was able to interact and do both and one not affect the other. You get what I'm saying? So they actually was proud of me. They was encouraging me to spend more time with SWM because they already knew, like, they in their mind, they looked at BMM, you know what I'm saying, as like a baby SWM. You get what I'm saying? That's how they looked at it. They're like, yo, you know what? We got SWM and then we got BWM. You know what I'm saying? So it was all good. It was harmony.
Yes. So at this point, it didn't become blood yet, right?
No, not yet.
So I'm about to ask you this next question. And, you don't have to get too deep, but hopefully you can share as much information as possible. I'm trying to correlate something because the timeline, it kind of doesn't make sense a little bit, but I just want to be clear about it.
Right.
I'm going to say a word, and then I want you to tell me what you think. Now, sex, money, murder, Pistol Pete, everybody knows he was on his murder gang. What came first, Thanksgiving? And I hope you understand what I mean by Thanksgiving. Or sex, money, murder becoming blood.
If I don't want to say something and be wrong, so I'm gonna be very clear. All I can say is that we became part of the nation in 1996, right? Now the Thanksgiving, I don't want to touch up on that because it's sensitive reasons or whatever. But those who know the year of exactly when that happened, and I'm telling you that we became part of the nation in 1996, so you could do the math.
Okay, I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. All right, so let's talk about the blood aspect of it all. OG Mac, we
Right.
good. What are your thoughts about him before we really dive into it?
Pioneer. I mean, what I mean? Like I said, a lot of people like to say, bad things about Mac. Let me be clear. We all human before anything. Before man, before woman, we are human. So to be human is to err. We all gonna make mistakes. You know, and it's no crime into making a mistake. The only time the crime come into play is when you don't learn from that mistake. What Mac did was exceptional and phenomenal. He put blood, he took blood over, you know what I'm saying, above and beyond. You get what I'm saying? Even though we know blood started, you know what I'm saying, where it started, that's the motherland. We can never take nothing from that. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my West Coast Bloods, everybody. Shout out to Bloods all over, but shout out to the West Coast.
They
But
said in his story they says he was sanctioned
right,
to create
so
the blood set on the East Coast. Who sanctioned him, if you know?
right, and for he had family out there. So the story goes that he went out there to visit family members, and that's how he got sanctioned out there. Whether he brought crypt codes back or whatever, I don't care how he did it. He did it. And what he did, he created a force, a unmovable force, man. He got the ball rolling, and Blood became, the biggest gang in the world at one point. You know what I'm saying? Behind of what Mac did, bringing that over here to the East Coast. So, say what you want about the man, but he created something, man. And like I said, we could have been the next best thing, the next to the Black Panthers, if you know what I'm saying, if this would have stayed on a path, why we created it, how we created it, it could have been the next best thing, man. So yeah, shout out to Mac, free Mac, man, free OG Mac, man, Omar,
Yes. So with that being said, with the whole story with Bloods being started on Rikers Island, and because Black people basically got to stick together. What was that experience like dealing with the Latin Kings or other people, other sets, other groups, other entities? And why do you feel like the Black men weren't sticking together without needing the so-called banner or label?
Well, that's always the problem. You know what I'm saying? With our brothers, it's always the problem, man. Egos get in the way, jealousy, envy, you know, um, and that's so crazy because with us fighting, you know what I'm saying, all of these other enemies that we got going on, as if that wasn't enough. And then, we started fighting amongst each other. That's why I tip my hat to OG Mac, man, because, you know what I'm saying, what he did turned the tides, man. Anybody that was on the island with us at that time, know what it's sitting for. They know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no shame to say, oh, we was outnumbered and we was outgunned. You know what I mean? But some of us, our backs to the wall, that we fight better like that, But in the end, how many battles can you win when you outnumbered? Eventually, it's going to catch up to you, So that turned the tides, man. And once he created what he created, it turned the tides, and now we started sticking together. Now it's like, okay, brotherhood, So it was more than a gang. People don't understand. Blood was more, you know what I'm saying, more than a gang. It's a brotherhood. It's a family. It's a livelihood. People just want to put gang, that's the government. Let the government use the word gang. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a form of endearment like gang, but it's a family. I never looked at it as a gang. I looked at it as a family, and as I stated in previous interviews, and I stand behind mine, I never even wanted to be a part of it because, I'm always was a person that stand on my own. You know, I know what I can do. I knew what my team could do, you know, but I kind of like foreseen what it was gonna become. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me how. I just foreseen it, you know. So that was my thing, you know. And, you know, so they say it's powers in numbers, but also when they start getting numbers, people start abusing that, you know. And I seen a lot of tough guys when it's you know 5, 6, 10, 15. You the toughest guy in the world, but let the tables be turned and you the most pussiest nigga in the world. And that's what I hate. You know what I mean? Don't take nothing away from me because you see 3, 4 dudes with me, because minus these 3, 4 dudes, I'm a gangster. I give it up. And this is the bad taste that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people had in their mouth about blood, the jumping, the ganging up on, and oh, they can't do this by themselves. They need numbers, you know, and it's crazy. But they never said that with the Latin Kings. They never said that with Dominican Power. You know what I'm saying? They never seen how like, you know what I'm saying? They the first one. They never said it with the police. You know what I'm saying? The police. You know what I'm saying? They gang up. Oh, so you know why you wanted to say that with just blood though? I don't get that, you know. But you know, that's a story for another time, you know. But yeah, he turned the tides, man. OG Mac turned the tides.
Well, I'm kind of glad that you brought, that it was more positive and it's the government and, people's perspective and stuff like that. Now, I get the security aspect of it all because let's keep it real. Rikers Island is gladiator school for young black men, young black and brown men in New York City. So other than, because I'm a civilian, so help me understand the brotherly love aspect of it all and trying to mimic the Black Panthers and having those intentions in the beginning, outside of protecting yourselves from other groups, what was y'all doing to help uplift each other or take care of each other while behind the wall?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that, because like I said, it's bigger than the gang, you know. So the teachings. You know what I'm saying? We actually had teachings where we, you know what I'm saying, the dumb, deaf, and blind, that, you know, they history, you know what I'm saying? Not blood history. We talking about black history, you know, so that was being taught. You know, the camaraderie, the each one teach one. Somebody coming through and they don't have, you know what I'm saying, they less fortunate. They don't got food, they ain't got deodorant, they ain't got, this is what we did, bringing them in. Here you go. Because Rikers Island could be harsh. You know what I'm saying? If you wasn't getting a lot of money out there, or you burnt bridges and you came in there, yo, I'm telling you, it's a hard way to go. It's a hard way to live, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you really ain't got the backings and you getting something and somebody there to take it from you, then it's even harder. So structure, rules, regulations. We taught you how to be militant. We taught you how to be humble. It's a lot of things. We created to where is, because they say without order there's chaos. So we brought order to a lot of chaos. People running around just doing nothing with their time. You know what I'm saying? They say when how they say idle time is the devil's playground or whatever. So we literally taught people, what I'm saying, how to get their GED, what I'm saying, college degrees, a lot of things that was being taught and instilled in our young black men, what I'm saying, our young brown men. Like, these are the things that we was doing, man, teaching dudes how to build a resume, how to use a computer, the list goes on. The list goes on. It wasn't just about throwing it up, 031 flagging it. Well, that's just what the media want to portray. You know what I'm saying? It's a family. It's a business. The list goes on. The list goes on, man.
Yeah, and I grew up in the 90s as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? So I saw some experiences and stuff like that. Some bad, but I kind of want to stick to the good part, because there were rules. Like back then, I remember, like if you was flagging or you had something significant that made you claim blood or whatever the case may be, you was G-checked. Like people act, oh, what set you claim, or do all this the rules, and they had to recite something and things like that. I don't see
a lot of that now. It seems like anybody could claim it, anybody could come up in it. What do you feel changed that dynamic in history where once it was real militant, now it's just a free for all? Because that's what it seemed like these days.
Bad leadership, bad leaders. In the beginning, you know, great leaders, good leaders. Of course, you're gonna have a few bad apples, but once blood started to grow, and then started creating, you know, all of these subdivisions and what I'm saying, these branch offs. So now, you gotta appoint more leaders to govern more sections, more branch offs, more subdivisions, and every leader, the more leaders that was being brought in wasn't the right leaders. So, what I'm saying, it's like the blind leading the blind. So now you got people that's, what I'm saying, indulging. They breaking every rule that we created in the beginning to keep, what I'm saying, us in line, the drugs, that's like really like the number one thing. You know what I'm saying? The drugs and everything. Because once, what I'm saying, your mind is poisoned with these drugs, what I'm saying, you're not thinking right, you're not thinking correctly, what I'm saying, you making bad decisions. And everything that, what I'm saying, that you doing now is based on you chasing that bag. You know what I'm saying? So now you got these dudes that's under you, they singing that, they like, yo, what kind of leader is this? So now they want to challenge the leader. You know what I mean? And then they not even being led right. So now, what I'm saying, if they do overthrow or overtake that leader, so, now you got, what I'm saying, an even blinder leader leading it. So it just became chaos. It just became chaos. Once, they started breaking the rules, what I'm saying, not abiding by the rules and the regulations and wasn't getting reprimanded or disciplined for it, it started to go down the drain.
Yeah, and that's crazy. And I can see how that can happen. Um, was there any kind of like a specific thing for the leaders? Because you say, oh, people bringing people in. So what's that process like? Like, oh, this is my man's. Oh, now you got the juice, and then they got the juice, or like.
Well, I can't speak for that generation. First generation, it was nothing like that. You already know, the history speaks for itself. The story speaks for itself. You know what I mean? You literally had to put in that pain. You had to put in that work. You was on a probation period. You got jumped in. You know what I mean? We had to know, what I'm saying, if you was going to fold under pressure. You know what I mean? So the first process was you getting jumped in to see if you could stand on your own. You know what I'm saying? And after that, you was put on a probation period. Then you had to learn the rules. You had to learn the regulations. You had to learn your history. You know what I'm saying? You had to learn your constitutions. These are the things that you was put on a 72-hour basis. And then, you had to come back like, yo, I know this, I got this. And then you was being watched, and then we put you to a test. You had to go through a string of situations before you was even allowed to say, yo, you part of the nation. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like, yo, oh, he put in work. He's just this. Okay, you don't know the history of that individual. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if that's a facade. Everybody wear a mask. We all wear masks. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, whether it's, what I'm saying, self-preservation, whether it's a defense mechanism, whatever the case may be, we wear a mask. And after a while, that mask come off. And, what I'm saying, to reveal the true person who you are. You know what I'm saying? Even in relationships. I tell people that you jump into a relationship, man, don't get your all. People wear masks for whatever reason. It may be hidden agendas. They all play nice. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to fart in front of your significant other. You don't want to, pig out in front of your significant other. You and your best
friend. With that, I can't take a shit either. Like, I gotta be with you
for
like at least 3 years.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Right. And then once, you know what I'm saying, you build a trust. You know what I'm saying? Comfortability, and you know, like, oh, yo, then that's when that mask come off. Then you can be you. And this is everyday life. This is everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to know, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't care of what you tell me. When deeds are met, words mean nothing. And that's what I go by. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, your actions are so loud, I can't hear what's coming out your mouth. That's the type of shit that I'm on. You got to show me. Because we can all tell a story. That's the best thing about a story is what? It's your story. You can add to it, ad lib it. You can subtract from it. It's your story. You can chop it up. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear what's coming out your mouth. Show me. You know what I mean? And that's where it started to go wrong. It started to go left. You know what I'm saying? One incident, people see, he knocked this dude out. He official. Oh, I see him cut this dude. He official. He stabbed this dude. He official. And these be the same dudes, right? That start telling. You know what I'm saying? That start breaking all the rules by messing around with individuals they're not supposed to mess around with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get too into it for all reasons known, but you know, these are the individual that you bet the house that he was so official and he brought your whole house down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
all original like first generations. Shout out to all my first generation bloods. Shout out to all my first generation leaders. You know, a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, is you know, admin seg, you know, or they locked away with no communication, you know, they no longer here, you know what I'm saying, or they fell from grace. But a lot of first generation leaders is not here. So you know, second, third generation, you know what I mean? It's just a whole different thing, man. We need to bring it back. We need to bring it back, you know. But you know, like I said, I was a young hothead, so I could understand, you know what I'm saying. But then again, I can't understand, you know what I'm saying. This generation is just so different, you know what I mean. They don't want to hear nothing, you know what I mean. They know everything. So you know, the best way to convince a fool they wrong is to let them have their own way. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad to say that because in the midst of them having their own way, they tearing down their own community. They tearing down everything, this whole structure. Everything is like a bad taste in everybody's mouth now. So, but that's what it is, you know.
Yeah. Now I've been always curious. I told you I grew up in the 90s as a teenager, preteen, all of that, right? One thing that I used to always I don't know the whole thing, but five alive, six must die. Rest in peace to OG Ty. Who's OG Ty?
Well, OG Ty is first generation. You know, he came through. If I'm not mistaken, he's the cousin of OG Mac. I don't know if he's you know really blood cousins or whatever, but OG Ty, you know, he got killed. You know what I'm saying? He got killed, but he was an original banger. You know what I'm saying? He was original banger. You know, his story, it's a bunch of stories that, OG Todd was crip, this, that, and third. Like I said, I don't get into the politics. You know what I'm saying? I call them politics because that's what it is. It's politics. But all I can tell you is OG Todd is a first generation gangster. Whether he was this, whether he was that, he's in the books, he's in history. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to OG Todd.
Yes. Now, I want to ask you a few questions. Oh wait, before I go there, and I'm mad I missed this when we was talking about Pistol Pete, right? Did he really crack Nas over the head with a glass bottle, or is that like urban legend? Tell me
No,
that.
that's not urban legend. That's
Okay.
actual facts. That's actual facts.
Cause Nas is my husband, and when I found, well, in my head he's my husband, and when
Mhm.
I found that out, I was like, "Oh my God, soft spoken Nas,
Yeah, Nas
sincere."
can get a little lippy. You know what I mean? It was a couple of situations, you know. Not Nas can get a little lippy, man. You know what I mean? And Pete, man, you know, Pete was just so arrogant, man. Like Pete was on like the world is mine type shit. If you wasn't, you know, if he felt challenged, if he felt like you know, I love Pete, man. That's all I can say, man. Pete Pete was way before his time, man. But yeah, man. You know, yeah, that's true.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it because I'm thinking Nas is so suave and smooth, but I guess that's like the
You know,
chief.
shout out to Nas. Shout out to Nas.
Yeah,
Nas is
shout out
Nas
to
is a
Nas
yeah,
because
Nas is a
I'm like,
good
how
dude, man.
you can't crack a nigga in his half moon? You just
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
do
You know what I'm
that.
saying? You know, the early years of Nas, his music, man. You know, I done rode down a lot. You know what I'm saying? Blasting his music, man. You know what I'm saying? And it got me through a lot too, man. Yeah, shout out to Nas, man. You know what I mean? But it's you a rapper or you in the streets. You can't do both. You know what I'm saying? You can't do both,
Well,
man. And
some people
sometimes
do both,
you know,
and we're
but
gonna
they
get
get
to
caught.
that.
They get caught up. They get
Okay.
caught up. Let history will tell you. History is
Yeah.
show and prove. You know what
Wait,
I'm saying?
wait, but
Tupac.
before you go there, we're gonna get there. I don't want to. We're gonna get there, but since we're on celebrities, and before we get back to Sex, Money, Murder, I got a few more names I want to tell you, and see what stories you give me. So I'm gonna rewind it back a little bit to your
Hmm.
Brooklyn days. Who's KJ?
That's Kim. That's my sister. Shout out to Kimberly Jones, man. That's
Little
my heart,
Kim, right?
man. Yeah, we went to Sarah J together, man. You know what I mean? Back in the days, man. But this before um Kim was Kim. You know what I mean? She know we used to ride the N and the R, setting people up and all of that. Yo, shout out to my cousin Star too, John, man. You know what I'm saying? He was down with that team too, man. You know, but yeah, KJ is, you know, that was my Sarah J Hell road dog. Uh,
Yes. Yes. Now we spoke about this before, but like I said, we're doing this now. What happened with Jim Jones?
you know, I don't like to get into a lot of that because it's just like it's just irrelevant now. But you know, needless to say, I'm gonna just say two things. One, you know, D1, man, DC, that's my family. That's my cousin. You know, so you know, I guess that was
And
kind of
shout
like
out to Hocus for Fifth.
yes, shout out to you know the Harrises, shout out to my cousin Dollar, my cousin S1, you know, yeah, you know, say that's you know that was strike one, you know, another strike. Like I said, it was a situation, you know, that happened, you know, kind of like favor for favor. I'm not gonna get into it. But you know, a situation was handled, and so you know that showed faith into what me and moms can do. And then the situation happened to where, you know, in the midst of me taking care of something, I end up getting jammed up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he was called, he was contacted about the bail situation, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I had the money, you know, but I just didn't have, they had me on a surety bond. So I couldn't prove where the money came from. And that's the DA banked on that. She even said that that's on record. She was like, yeah, we know you got the money, but we also know you ain't got the means to show where you got the money from. So he was reached out to, and he kind of like got a little beside himself, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, him and Low Temp was, you know, shout out to Hennessy Black, man, you know what I'm saying? AKA, you know, my other brother Low. He got into a little, him and Jim got into a little argument over the phone about the situation, and you know, Jim was disrespectful back in the day, so he threw the frame. Can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying? Once you do that, you know what I'm saying, you can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, one thing led to another, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, but like I said, we both grown from that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people grown from that. Like I said, I like where Jim is at now. I like the person Jim become now. You know what I mean? He's more humble, you know. I guess life's experiences, you know what I'm saying, show you, you know what I'm saying, give you a slice of humble pie and show you how to be humble, you know. And I think he might be, you know what I'm saying, more successful than he once was, you know what I'm saying? And he on the path to that, you know, and I wish him the best, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's all good now, you know.
Yes. So throughout this conversation so far, you back and forth with Blood and Crip, and I know your brother Rucklow represented that blue. What was that dynamic like? Like when Sex Money Murder became Blood, was he already Crip?
Yeah, absolutely. And he turned, I want to say part of, you know, because it's eight of us. So my sister Crip, my brother Crip, he turned kind of like, you know, half of the low clan Crip, because you know what I'm saying, the only ones that's, you know, that's repping the red is me and Hennessy Black, which is he's Sex Money Murder as well, man. Shout out to Hennessy Black, man. He already know, man. But it never really was no, I can't, my family is so structured. We so tight that it didn't even bother. Like we never even looked at it like, oh, you Crip, I'm Blood. Like, you know, we you know, we'd be in a house and, you know what I'm saying, we'll have fun. We, you know what I'm saying, we'll fuck around with each other here and there. But, you know, lo and behold, if Ruck got into something, a Crip beef situation, it's been situations, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, It's stories people could tell you about that. You know what I'm saying? To where he had a situation and I went and got my team and we rolled down on situations for him. And they like, yo, what the fuck? Why Bloods is over here? You know what I'm saying? That's the bro. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? He went. I tell those it was a story to where some California Crips came to see Ruck. I want to say this is right before I got snatched by the feds. I caught my Fed case in 2000. So this had to be 99 or 2000, right before the feds snatched me. So California Crips came to pay homage to Ruck, you know, and you know, because Ruck, you know, the Crip side was Mount Haven. Patterson was the Blood side, you know what I'm saying? Mitchell's was Crip, whatever. Well, anyway, long story short, I'm in the middle of Patterson holding a powwow. And right in the middle of me holding that powwow, I kid you not, 40 to 50 Crips come walking through Patterson, bandanaed out, dark shades, all blue, flagging. I'm like, nah, like some shit out of the movies, you know what I'm saying? So I had the AR-9 in the garbage can. So I go grab the AR-9. They stop. They all backing out. They pulling out. I'm like, yo, this is about to go down. Ruck come flying. Somebody, I don't know how he got the word or whatever, but he come flying over to the projects like, yo, no, y'all bugging. You know, he talking Crip lingo. They all looking. He like, yo, OG Ruck, what's up? You know, these slobs. He like, yo, nah, watch your mouth. That's my brother. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, he the Blood, but you know what I'm saying? That's my bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all bugging. Y'all gotta respect that. He like, yo, y'all on the wrong side. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? So that situation was about to get ugly, like really, really ugly. We was outnumbered, outgunned, but you know me, I was going down. But yeah, you know what I mean? Ruck held it down. I told him like, yo, now that's the bro, man. So, you know, we always stuck together, family before anything. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when it's gang life, they tell you when you choose gang, that becomes your family. That is your family. And some people say you gotta choose that over whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't crack a joke on you or something like did nothing.
No, that's what I said. We used to have fun in the house. We used to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? You slob, you know, I didn't hear all of it. Like even to this day, you know what I'm saying? My baby sister, she Crip, she under Ruck, you know what I'm saying? So she'll call me with some crazy shit, yo, you pork head, this, that, all kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? We go back and forth, you know, but only we can do that. Only we can do that, man. Because if the belligerent pop off, you ain't gonna know what color is what. You know what I'm saying? All you're gonna see is the Low family, and that's the biggest game to me, man. Low family.
Yes, and shout out to that. But you know, you can't front like back in the '90s. You know, niggas was real stern on that. I remember being on 116th Street, and I think like Lenox or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to shit on Crip or anything. You know, I'm civilian. But I remember these two guys riding on a bike through that area, and they was like Crip and stuff like that. And I guess for me, I felt like it was like kind of antagonizing the Blood area.
Yeah.
And shout out to Fred Fox. Rest in peace to Fred Fox. That's
Rest
my
in peace.
cousin.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he died like almost 10 years ago, I think, probably a little longer than that. But I knew of Blood because of, you know, he was the main reason. Just me being in Foster and stuff like that. That was Blood City, you know what I'm saying? So I saw the dynamic of how serious it was between it. Nowadays, you know, it's more blended, especially after the Nipsey Hussle situation. And in New York, shout out to Booga, rest in peace to Booga. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace to Booga, my nephew. Yeah.
Crip became more of a thing, especially on the east side, where I remember a time where it was predominantly Blood. Like I don't ever remember seeing a Crip at all in the 90s. What do you say to that, the culture of that now, of the blendedness?
I tip my hat to that because I'm like I said, I'm all about unity. You know, I tell people, man, the West Coast got it together long time ago. So I don't understand how it took us so long. You know, for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm one of the first that, you know, was for Crips living amongst us in population. You know what I mean? I was in Wendy 2012, 2013. Shout out to Goo, you know what I'm saying? When they first let go out or whatever. But I held the meeting, you know what I'm saying, and went the yard and D block, and I told him, I'm like, yo, look, man, Crips can live, man. I was never with that color banging shit. Never ever. You know what I'm saying? If you violated me, I'm gonna violate you. I don't care what color you was. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if we gonna stand by brotherly love, override oppression and destruction, let's get that word, oppression.
Yes.
People just overlook the word oppression. You think oppression, you know what I'm saying? Your interpretation of oppression. No, look the definition of oppression. So if you banging on Crip and they can't live in population, and this is back in the days. Now in population, you can get all kind of, you can get your programs now, but it wasn't like that back in the days. You go to the box, you can't get your program, you can't do nothing. So now you got to max out the box. You'll miss your date to go home and all of that. So that's a form of oppression. If you banging on Crip and they can't live in population and they got to go home from the box where they can't, you know what I'm saying, get their programs and nothing, that's a form of oppression. And I'm not with that. Like I said, when it's numbers, you know what I'm saying, everybody want to be tough. You know what I'm saying? But let the roles be reversed. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say it was 100 Crips and 3 Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Then what? How would you like them to say, oh, y'all can't live? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like, you know what I'm saying, that has happened, but that had happened because of what was happening to them. But, you know, I'm one of the ones that got the ball rolling, you know what I'm saying, for Crips to be able to live in population with the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Bloods didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? So they ran back to Goo. Like, yo, Matrix bugging. He told about the Crips could live. And the very words out of Goo mouth was like, Matrix said that? They said, yeah. He said, then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? All them years in the box, Goo heard what I was doing. He knew what it was sitting for. He knew what type of individual, he knew what type of leader I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm never for oppression. Like I stand by. If, like I said, if something is on, like if it's my brand or if it's something that I rep, I'm going to stand by it. I'm not going to go against it. You know what I'm saying? Although I'm prejudiced when it comes to my set, you know what I'm saying? But I don't violate. I don't care about nothing. You know, it's like, yo, look, let them live, man. Let them live. You got a problem with a person individually, then handle your business. But all of that, oh, they can't live, I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Our biggest enemies was the Latin Kings at one point. So now it's 5 Love. We living in harmony. So you mean to tell me you can get it together with one of the, if not your biggest enemy, and then turn around and tell me, oh we banging on Crip? What if Crip ever did to you? Just because it's a thing to do with something that the West Coast was doing or whatever, but they got it together. They been got it together, man. So I'm all for that. Unity, I don't care what color it is, whatever the case may be, unity, black unity, I love it. I'm all for it, man. I like what I see.
Yes. And shout out to Tookie Williams as well. A Nobel Peace
Shout out to
Prize
Tookie Williams.
winner.
Rest in peace to Tookie Williams, man.
Yes, rest in peace to Tookie Williams. I really feel like he should have never received that death sentence, especially
fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. Fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. I feel and I just want to put this disclaimer out, you know what I'm saying? Because I always feel like people could rehab and evolve. And I really felt like he was a prime example of evolution in a human. He went from participating in destruction of his people to turn around and bring unity with Bloods and Crips in LA. And not only that, he did that shit around the world, in Italy, the gangs in Italy. And he wrote books, and you know, he met with Winnie Mandela and tried to orchestrate some things so that people could live better outside of oppression.
And pardon me for cutting you off, Chalo.
No, go
but
ahead.
That's where he went wrong.
Wait, hold
that's
up.
Where
I gotta
he went
change
wrong.
my fucking banner.
Yeah, that's
but go ahead.
Yeah, that's where he went wrong. Remember, I told you our biggest enemy is the government. And who was Arnold Schwarzenegger at the time? He was the governor, right?
Yeah, he was the governor.
Tookie was too powerful. They didn't like the power that he had. They did not like that. Anytime, you know what I'm saying, a person of color get that much power, have that much influence, you know what I'm saying? Fuck a unity. I'm talking about a nation. They're gonna get rid of you. They're gonna get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? History repeats itself. Follow history. You know what I mean? Anytime a person of that much power, you know what I'm saying, have that much influence that can create, you know what I'm saying, such a profound movement, you know what I'm saying, or can move the crowd in such a way to where they feel like too dangerous, they're going to bury you. one way or another, they're gonna bury you.
Yeah, and
They was
that's
afraid of
why
him.
I felt compelled to tell that, because a lot of people, they talk about Tukey, and they talk about the negative parts, but they don't talk about the evolution, and I think everybody should.
Of course
Now
not.
yeah, and I'm gonna ask you a deep question. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
like I said, I'm a civilian, and this is just me, with my experience from the outside looking in. Now,
Hmm.
brotherly love overcome our oppression, right? I hope I'm
Well,
saying it right.
override. Hmm.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Yes. Do you feel like a lot of the stuff that y'all was doing back then, the selling, the drugs, the catching cases for which I was catching cases for, I'm not gonna really say. Do you feel like that was some sort of oppression now that you are older and wiser now to your people and your community outside of these banners?
You can't be a decent human being and not look at it as oppression. When you young and all of that, you not looking at it like that. Of course not. You're looking at the money, you're looking at the lifestyle, you're looking at, your environment. But anytime, you giving a person drugs to distort their way of thinking, to distort their mind, to keep them stagnated, that's oppression.
Yeah,
That's
that's why
oppression.
I asked that.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got to keep it on the stove. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like, we going to get money. We going to do whatever we going to do. But to what point to where you look at it and be like, yo, you know what? I am contributing to, this destruction. You know what I'm saying? It's an oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, say, brotherly love override oppression and destruction, but I'm still oppressing, my very own people. You know what I'm saying? Because them drugs is not being sold to the other color. Them drugs is not being sold in their community. You know what I'm saying? It's being sold in our own community. You get what I'm saying? So yes, that is a form of oppression, and I'm glad that you asked that. And I'm gonna keep it on the stove. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But not too many people, you know what I'm saying, could reach that level of understanding. They're not ready yet.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like it's necessary for us to have these conversations, you know what I'm saying, and to release some of the stigma and hopefully inspire the new bloods, the young bloods, to make better choices, so that sex, money, murder, non-trained gangster, or whatever set you claim could be better than their ancestors, so to speak, in that lifestyle. I just felt I had to do that. So moving forward, Young Thug, today's sex, money,
Free
murder.
Young Thug. Free Young Thug.
Yes. Now the whole I know this wasn't the first Rico case. I think the question that I asked you before about the Thanksgiving situation, that was the first Rico case. Now comparing the two, right? Because you see a lot of people started talking, a lot of people started doing a lot of things. Did y'all have that same thing back then when the Rico case came upon y'all in the 90s? What was people folding and taking deals and all of that? Or
That go that
is it
that
worse
that
now? Or is that type of loyalty, that type of mindset worse now than what it was then? Or is it the same?
I can't say if it's any worse or if it's any better. It's the same. A rat is a rat is a rat. A snake is a snake is a snake. Yes, it happened then. You know what I'm saying? That's why, what I'm saying, my brother is doing the rest of his life plus, what I'm saying, whatever else they tackled on to that, because of motherfuckers folding. Motherfuckers, what I'm saying? Like I said, when that water get to boiling, them peas jump out the pot, man. You know what I'm saying? That pot ain't made for peas, man. It ain't made for peas, man. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, and I go back to what I said. We put people in our circle, right, without fully putting them through the fire. It's like, oh, I grew up with him. That's my man. Family turn on family. Friends turn on friends. Daughters turn on mothers. Fathers turns on. It goes on. So you can't really say, yo, I'm 100% sure because that's my what? No. People have to be tested. You get what I'm saying? I think if you gonna get involved in situations like that, you gotta build your team around people that have nothing to live for, nothing that they care about. Because human, right? I go back to being human, right? Self-preservation. Self-preservation. You know what I mean? So they gonna do whatever they can to get back to that dick sucking bitch who they in love with. You know what I'm saying? Or to get back to, that corner, you know what I'm saying, that they was getting all that money for. They gonna do whatever they can, you know what I'm saying, to get back to that. They'll throw their mama under the bridge, you know what I'm saying, just to get back to the streets. So you when you enter that type of lifestyle, you have to structure your team, you know what I'm saying, the way a militia, you know what I'm saying, structure its army. You know what I'm saying? You got to get on a type of mind frame as give me a dictator, somebody who you know you know anybody that a motherfucker rather die than face the wrath from. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it ain't. I can't say it got any worse or it got any better. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? People surround themselves with people that they think they family until, you know what I'm saying, this situation happened. And now look, you get what I'm saying? Again, Thugger, another individual who the government wanted. You know what I'm saying? They felt like he had too much power. He was moving the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Love the boy music, man. Love the boy move, man. If I'm not mistaken, my boy, my buzzing hot boy got the pleasure of being this as a conference. So did Hocus. You know what I'm saying? So they could tell you more about the young boy than I can. You know what I'm saying? But from outside looking in, I liked what I saw, man. It's a bum rap, man. I hope he beat it, man. But it's hard to beat that government. You know what I'm saying? Me being a person that got caught by them, I'm gonna tell you now, it's hard to beat a system that create laws every minute of the day. Before this conversation, before this interview is over, they might have created 10 more laws. You know what I'm saying? They create laws to trap us off. You know what I mean? Because they know we find ways to get around things no matter what. So they create these laws to trap us off, man. But I hope he beat it. I hope he get around to it. And those who threw him under the bus, man, you know what I'm saying? Karma. That's all I can say is karma, man.
Yeah. My thing is, I hate the fact that they using lyrics because not every rapper is either a gang member or hip hop music anyway. You know what I'm saying? Is a form of expression that you either personally know or saw. Like you don't even have to, or just inspired by. Like I could watch the news all day and come up with some rap lyrics and stuff like that about things that are being mentioned in the news and stuff like that, and the fact that they using that against people and to do it as a RICO charge, because I think RICO charge is one of the weakest cop out to trying to lock down Black people. I think it's so weak because it could be anything. I could be on the phone with you and be like, "What's up, blood?" I'm not blood. Oh, what's up, blood? What's up, young blood? And then they probably the leader. We need to ask her some questions. The fact that she was talking to this nigga, they all going down. Take the kids too. And I don't like that. That's the shit that I don't like.
RICO and conspiracy. Conspiracy is it's one of those things that I just can't fathom how they even allow that. Like, who are you to tell me I conspired to do anything? You're not in my mind. How you know what I conspired to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, they create laws to trap us off, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do, and it's a sad situation. It's a sad situation, man. You know what I mean? But by the grace of God, I'm one of the fortunate ones that was able to catch a fair case. You know what I'm saying? Get the time that I got. And see the sun again. You know what I mean? A lot of people, it was less unfortunate. You know what I mean? And I think that's what saved me dealing with Sex Money Murder, of me having my own entity with the Low Brothers and BMM, because I was so busy doing other things that I didn't spend all my time, you know what I'm saying, getting trapped up with this situation. You get what I'm saying? And I think, like I said, everything happened for a reason. It wasn't, like my choice. If I could, I would have spent way more time with SWM than BMM, but it just didn't turn out that way. And lo and behold, I'm one of the ones that's standing on on the other side of that fence, man. Shout out to BMO, man. Shout out to Kevmo. Shout out
Shout out
to
to
X.
Shice.
Yeah, shout out to X Xavier. Shout out to Shice. Shout out to all the Blazers, man.
That's
You know what
my
I'm saying?
brother right there.
S double M,
Big
us
Shice.
never them. Y'all know how that go, man. Shout out to Voss. Shout out to Rab.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out to the
Lil
whole
Ball.
East
This
Side
goes on, man. I
section.
got a couple of my road dogs doing time. Shout out to Little Low, man. Little Rob Low, man. My son, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Devil. Shout out to Pal. Shout out to Ungambino. Shout out to SB. Old Dog. List goes on. Like I said, it's always too many. I don't really like to shout out too much because I know too many people. I know too many people, and then I get this like, "Oh, you ain't shout me out, man."
Well, shout them
Yeah,
out as they come to your mind, and if
yeah.
he missed
Shout
you,
out to
don't take it
everybody, man.
personal.
Especially behind the walls, holding it down, man. You know what I'm saying? SWM, y'all know who y'all are, man. You
Yes.
know.
Now I don't think I think I forgot to ask you when we got to the Booga part. I don't remember me fully getting the question out. I don't think I did. But fuck it, I'm gonna ask you again. Okay, when we spoke, we was sitting in front of we was at your spot in front of the Booga memorial. And
Memorial,
we were
right?
talking about the Crip and Blood situation. I don't think I asked you this specific question though. Um, he was able to change the demographic to blue, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
I said something to that effect, but I didn't ask this part. A lot of people changed. They went
Yeah.
from red to blue. Yeah, I didn't
Uh-huh.
ask that yet. They went from red to blue, and you see that a lot even after the fact of him passing, people doing that around the country. Because, I be on Clubhouse from time to time, and you hear people talk about that. Like 1 minute you blood, next minute you crip. Who does that and stuff like that? So I feel like it's more of a newer phenomenon with that. Back in the day, is blood in, blood out. And I'm pretty
You get
sure
your
Crip
back in
had
the days,
that
you get your
same.
head taken off of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and I'm pretty sure Crip had that same dynamic. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, it was that same kind of thing. What do you think changed that rule? Why it's so easy for people to flip flop or straddle the fence the way they do? And
Yeah.
why nobody is holding this generation accountable for flip flopping?
Yeah, you did ask me. You did ask me that, and like I said, it's numerous reasons of why that can happen. If you just doing it just to be doing it, just to be dick riding, or you feel like, oh, this setting now is more powerful, this side is more powerful, then what I'm saying. Whoever is accepting that individual, you get what you got coming to you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a chameleon. He gonna go with the winning team no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
And for
So.
me, that's too many ass whoopings. If motherfuckers is getting blooded in or cripped out,
Mhm.
that's like 5, 6 ass whippings just
Yeah, but
to.
that's not happening no more. So that's why, what I'm saying, a person is able to leave now without no consequences. So that's what makes it more easier. But when you had asked me that before, remember I told you, I said with the exception to these rules, like, it might be a situation to where a person, what I'm saying, gave his all, blood, sweat, and tears, his heart and his soul to a what I'm saying, to a clique, to a gang, what I'm saying, to a family, and they left them for dead. What I'm saying? They let him down. What I'm saying? The situation happened where they just left him for dead. And he felt like, yo, I don't got nobody now. They left me for dead. And this side showed him love. They're like, yo, we got you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna protect you. We're gonna show you a better way. So that's what happens. An individual gets scorned. He'd be like, yo, you know what? Why I put in my all for this, and this is what they do to me. You know what I'm saying? Or who come up under somebody thinking this person is this, that, and the third, and come and find out this person is a rat. You know what I'm saying? That this person is this person. He's everything that, what I'm saying, that you didn't think he was. You know what I mean? So now you left for dead, you got no home, and what I'm saying, they there to throw you a raft. You know what I'm saying? So with the exception of those rules, what I'm saying, I feel like, what I mean, like I said, whoever is accepting these individuals, what I'm saying, to jump from this to that, you get what your hand called for. You know what I'm saying? Because that person has no loyalty. You know what I'm saying? That person's gonna go with wherever the tide is going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and
like I said,
And I think that whole OG situation, that shit needs to be modified. You know, like I said, I don't got no dog in the fight or whatever, but I don't like the fact that a lot of so-called OGs or people who supposed to be well respected are like 23. I mean, I understand part of it. You got to put in that work, and you got to bring that pain or whatever the case may be. But it's like, you got to live. But then again, it's like contradictory because Pistol Pete was 20, and I'm pretty sure he was looked at as the OG. But at the same time, he came from a different background. Like, his family comes from that lineage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know in another interview I saw you did, you said he's younger than you, but you respected him so much. And not
Absolutely.
only that, when we spoke, you was like, it helped you structure BMM
Yeah.
and all these things. Do you
Right.
feel like it needs to be a whole new dismantle or destroy and rebuild of Bloods and Crips so it could get back to its true intention? And what would that look like? What is necessary for that to happen?
At times I feel like that, but you can't take away from history. You can't do that because you would say everything that we started with, everything that we stood for, everything that we built. You know what I'm saying? You just saying, okay, fuck that. You can't just disintegrate that. You get what I'm saying? Everything that they got to go back to the roots. You know, it got to go back to that. You can't just say, all right, fuck that. We're going to do this now. We're just going to destroy this and then rebuild. Because now what happening is that you starting anew. You starting everything from that point that you saying you're going to restructure something. And then everything that came before that, you trying to say you're not trying to abide by that. So, you know what I'm saying? It has to be a blend of things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel that it could be, you know what I'm saying, restructured but not destroyed and rebuilt. I just feel it could be restructured because, you know what I'm saying, that's a whole lot of history that you trying to destroy. Like you can't destroy history. History is history. You get what I'm saying?
No, I
So,
got you.
restructuring, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel a whole lot could be restructured, you know what I'm saying? And it should be, you know, but to
So
destroy
name
it, no.
me give me five things you feel like a OG should have in order to be called a OG.
Knowledge, experience, heart, loyalty, and love. Those five things are essential to you being a great leader. Those five things.
Yes, I agree.
And
Yeah.
you have to have been a follower in order to be a leader. I don't care how you put it. Like, you're just not gonna become. Nobody should just be coming to being a leader because you have to have some type of experience. You have to have once been a follower. All great leaders have once been taught or led by somebody or follow somebody in order to learn the leadership qualities. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't just snatch somebody out the woodwork and be like, yo, boom, here you become a leader, because now he's learning as well as the people that's following him. So who's leading who? You get what I'm saying? Who's leading who? So that leader has to have some experience. He has to have once been a follower. So that's why I say experience.
Yes. Now, sex, money, murder is all over the world. Even with Thug and Gunna or all of them, that's ATL, that's the South. What was the first state that it branched off to? Do you know?
No, I can't even tell you that. It populated so fast. Like, I really can't even tell you. It could have been North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Because of what we had going on. You know. But like I said, I'm the DC had a SWM chapter. I'm the first who did that. You know what I'm saying? Brought the first chapter SWM to DC. I did that. But we was already in Virginia, North Carolina. So I can't tell you the first state. I want to say North Carolina, but I could be wrong. Yeah,
Yes.
but Jersey is deep. Jersey is like the you know if we the motherhood, then I say Jersey is like the sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? Like they really deep, man. They really put on for SWM. But I can't tell you what state. I wanna, like I said, I wanna jump on a limb and say North Carolina, but I could be wrong. But it probably is.
Shout out to North Carolina. Shout
Yeah,
out to
shout out to North
Jersey,
Kakalaki, man. Shout out
Missouri.
to North Kakalaki.
Yeah. So moving forward, what I'm saying? Because now, we spoke about a lot, and shout out to you for coming back on the platform and having to sit down with me. I'm Chalo now. All you
Absolutely.
motherfuckers, like, subscribe, share this video because everybody need to see this. I'm Chalo for now on. I'm an honorary member. Thank you.
It's a
Ah.
fact.
But
That's a whole
anyway,
fact.
sorry for the technical difficulties. My camera is working now, but it's been in and out all day. But thank you for being patient and everything like that. But we still push through it, and I think this conversation is much needed, and it's incredible. Now, you was talking about the restructuring. Name me three things that'll help restructure sex, money, murder, and the Bloods.
Well, the first thing come to mind is unity. You can't do nothing
Yes.
without unity. And the other two things it could be whatever. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, it has to be unity. Everybody has to be on the same page, man. People got to put, what I'm saying, pride in their back pocket. This struggle, this constant, struggle of this person being the lead and that person being the leader, man. That need to stop, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we all can if we all get together, be on the same page, we can lead this thing right, man. You know what I'm saying? It's too much power for one man anyway. Way too
Yeah,
much power.
yes, and honestly, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm an outsider looking in, but I never heard of Bloods, no matter what set you come from, banging on each other. That
That
shit
was
was
unheard of.
new.
That was one of our. That was one of
Yeah,
our
that
rules.
shit
Yeah,
was unheard of.
that
Like
was
they
unheard of.
G check you to make sure you legit, but then
Hmm.
after that, okay. But to be banging on each other, shit like that, nah. I mean, I saw that with Bloods and Crips. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even cool. But for me, I saw that was part of the politics or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't walk down certain street if you had a certain
Yeah,
color, different things like that. I don't know the deeper meaning behind that shit, but on the
right.
surface level, that's what that was like. But I
Yeah.
never saw two of the same people, two Bloods fighting on each other. It's like a 9 Trey is fighting against a sex, money, murder. That was never heard of. Why do
Right.
you feel like that happened?
Like I said, it power struggle, power struggle, and then it got to the point to where dudes just start looking at their own set and not looking at it as blood. You know what I'm saying? Once it did no longer became United Blood Nation and it just became Hat, Stone, Apes, Sex, Money, Murder. Once it became, you know what I'm saying, individually, once it became that, that's when it was like, yo, you know what? All right, they not Hat. Fuck them. They not Stony. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? So once dudes lost sight of it becoming the United Blood Nation, that's when all of this happened. You know what I'm saying? And to go back to that question, I said unity, right? Loyalty and honor. Those are the three things that will help restructure things. Unity, loyalty, and honor. That's all you need.
All right, and I'm gonna ask you this question, and it just popped in my mind. OG Mac, right? Well, everything that's going on with Bloods, sets banging on each other, things like that. Do you feel like since he's the godfather of it all, the starter of the East Coast of it all, do you think he should be held accountable for the fuck ups that's happening with Bloods, especially on the East Coast?
No. Like I said, it's too much power for one man. It's too much. He created something, but nobody could foresee how powerful this would become, how strong it would become, and then how fucked up it would become. No, you can't put that on one man. You got to put that on each individual who, after him, you know what I'm saying, became these leaders, you know what I'm saying, and it all falls on all of us. not just one man. It falls on each and every one of us. So no, you know what I'm saying? And that goes back to saying if he was home and he was out, he would have had no more control of helping it still be on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Because it just took on a life of its own. So, like I said, once all of these sets started, you know what I'm saying, becoming these branch offs and stuff, it started to become too powerful, and you can't be, nobody's God. We can't be everywhere at once. You know what I'm saying? So I could govern in my own area, but I got to trust in you to govern that area. I got to trust in him, you know what I'm saying? And who to say they're going to do it the right way if I didn't bring them under the right way. So no, it don't fall on OG Mac. Not at all. It falls on us as a whole, each and everybody.
Yes. And just a disclaimer, you know what I'm saying? Because I know these things are sensitive. The only reason why I asked that is because that metaphor shit, he's the captain of the ship. And if the
Okay.
ship goes down, the captain goes down with the ship and is held
Yeah.
accountable too. So I was bringing that metaphor, that theory, that saying, whatever you want to call it, into this dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Being that he's the flagship of it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I
not
mean,
only that, I got to be on a panel with him. Shout out to Butters Basics. She had something in Brooklyn, and I got to sit on a panel with him. He didn't do much talking, but
mhm.
the fact that he was there. And then, because I was like, you don't want to say nothing. I passed the mic to him because, I could run my mouth. And I
Mhm.
was like, you don't want to say. He was like, no, I'm just enjoying this because we was really sitting there talking about, politics, a lot of powerful shit,
Right.
and talking about our people as a whole, even outside of, gang or whatever.
Right.
And just his energy, you know what I'm saying, was real positive. And me and him sat at the bar and we got to chop it up real quick. And his mindset, you wouldn't think, especially with all the stigmas behind Bloods and everything like that, you wouldn't think you could sit down and actually have an intellectual conversation with this man the way it was. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I kind of want to know, I gotta get him on the show. I kind of want to know how he feels about today and what should be done to change the dynamic, because I feel like you said, the government plays a part, and I think they infiltrated the gangs. They been did it, but
Yeah.
when you look at it now, especially in the music industry, and we know all the fuckery that goes on in the music industry, I think the gang culture is actually being um destroyed and manipulated so it can be dismantled. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you a bag. Here's the deal, or whatever. It's like they how the fuck they picking, they precisely picking certain individuals to be in the entertainment industry to expose a culture that wasn't supposed to be in the limelight like that. So okay, now we got you in front of the light. Now we got you in front of the camera. Yeah,
Mhm.
talk. Yeah, oh, he's another leader. He's a thing. Now here you go. Everybody's wrapped up. Whole projects is being locked down. There's
Right.
whole sweeps happening, and I feel like why my people is not seeing the trap.
Man, like I tell you, they see it, but everybody has this mentality like, yo, I'm outsmarted. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna outsmart the trap. That person fell. I'm not him. I think better than him. I'm gonna move better than him. That's a vicious cycle, man. It's never gonna stop. It's never gonna stop, man. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying. But you know, some fishes got to get caught out of the ocean so others can make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes, man. But as long as the government is there to, you know what I'm saying, keep their foot on our neck, it is what it is, man. We may not be alive when the tide turns, man, but eventually it will, man. But at the end of the day, it's a double-edged sword, man. Because we could sit up here and say, okay, I'm gonna get this individual, I'm gonna get this individual. They on the same frame of mind of thinking that I am, and we're gonna get this ball rolling, man. We're gonna start restructuring this thing and get this thing together, man. And once that start happening, man, they gonna start infiltrating. They're gonna find ways to set us up and silence us, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it goes back to of people having nothing to lose, or people who feel like if they get caught up, that people going to continue. They're going to carry that torch. You know what I'm saying? To keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get the ball rolling, you know what I'm saying, and sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, when I got a whole family now, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then, you know what I'm saying, I go down and then people are like, yo, oh, that's fucked up. You know, and everything that we started, we worked for, it scares them to where they just throw in the towel, you know what I'm saying? So everything that we work for, it goes down the drain because now, you know, and that's how the government wins. That's how the government wins. They say, "Yo, we're gonna get this person 100 years. We're gonna get him life plus 300 years." You know what I'm saying? And it scares individuals to be like, "Oh, I'm not getting caught up in that." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that they got the upper hand right now. They got the upper hand.
Yes. Well, I'm not gonna keep you too long. I'm gonna ask you one more question, and we could definitely be up off this. Where do you see Sex, Money, Murder in 5 years?
That's that's a difficult question. Where I would like to see it, I could tell you that. I would
Yes.
like to see it more in a positive limelight, more entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Um, more acting. You know what I'm saying? More literature, more positive things. I don't want to see. You know, like I said, I felt like, you know, like Pete told me, man. You know, we used to have numerous conversations, man. And he told me once. He said, "Yo, you my eyes now. You my ears. You my mouthpiece, man." You know what I'm saying? Take this somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Put Sex, Money, Murder on the map for something positive, man. And I vowed to do that, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's difficult, but I'm gonna hold him. I'm going, you know what I'm saying? I made him a promise, and that's what I'm gonna do. So even with these platforms, you know what I'm saying, with these interviews, you know what I'm saying, that I'm doing, you know, I'm letting people know that like Sex, Money, Murder, you know what I'm saying, is bigger than what the media is portraying us to be. So where I want to see us in the next 5 years, I want to see us owning record labels. I want to see us with big movie deals, big book deals. You know what I'm saying? I want to see us owning recreation centers. You know what I'm saying? I want to see us, you know what I'm saying, owning drug rehabs. You know what I'm saying? Anything to give back to the community that's going to rebuild and, you know what I'm saying, and help our peoples. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do the right thing. That's why I want to see Sex, Money. I want Sex, Money, and Murder to be a positive entity. Like when you see SWM, mad positive things pop into your mind. Oh yeah, this is such and such, you know, that, you know, nothing negative, you know what I'm saying? Like not gang, not shootings, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, man, Pistol Pete ain't do all that he do just to make it go down, you know what I'm saying, in history like that. So I want to see it on a positive note, man, in 5 years.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Rob Lowe Matrix.
You already
Okay.
know.
Yes. And we didn't even get to that. I heard you was fucking dodging bullets like Neo, my nigga. You was catching them shits in your hand.
Yeah,
You caught one in your teeth.
that's where the name Matrix came from, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Yeah.
Pistol, man. Shout out to Pistol.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah. Shout out to Pistol. Do he know what everything that's happening?
I have no idea, man. You know, last time I checked, he was they put in for him to be in the step down program. You know, I don't know if it got shot down or whatever, but
Did
I
he?
know
Does he have a podcast? I heard he has a podcast in
yeah, I don't
person.
I will look into that, but I know Hot Boy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hot Boy, my cousin Hot Boy. He was going through there making sure his mama bear had groceries and doing things of that nature. So here I have a little bit more info. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow and see if I can get a line on that, and then I'll holler at you and let you know.
Yes, I would love to talk to him.
Mhm.
I got a lot of questions to ask and have you back on here too and just see y'all, vibe with each other. I think that's necessary,
Yes.
and huge. But yeah, shout out to you, Rob. Shout out to my name. I'm
Shout out to
Chalo.
Shiloh.
Yes, I'm gonna fucking post that shit
Shiloh.
everywhere. Chalo. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
but thank you for talking with me. I think this conversation is needed, and you know, I really want the young bloods to look at this. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And,
right,
and get back in line, get back in rhythm, get back in so-called tradition. You know what I'm
right.
saying? To what the dream once was. Not just Sex, Money, Murder, but just the
Yeah,
whole blood organization. Because I really don't want to use gang because they could fuck with your videos and shit like that. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying? And I
right,
kind of want to uh do a different type of narrative. You know what I'm saying? I don't want
right,
to.
right.
This is not about glorifying street. It's about getting back to
Absolutely
the
not. Right,
essence. Getting
right.
back to the essence of what the intentions is, because even in the name, it's supposed to evolve our people. You
Hmm.
brought up the Black Panthers. I want to see that shit too. I want to fucking
go to school lunch. Right now it's the summertime, and you know how mothers do. We take our kids to the pool or whatever, and so we won't spend our money. We probably go head up to school lunch or whatever. I
Right.
want sex, money, murder to be that. I want that shit
Yeah.
to be red.
Right.
And they
Right.
handing me food. They not acting stingy and shit. I want to
Yeah.
see that. You know, I want to
But that's
see
good.
where
Definitely.
people come in and
Definitely.
rob homes and stuff like that. We
Mm-hmm.
are protected and safe. You know, not just women, but our kids too, our young kids. You know,
Right.
a lot of our young kids get sucked up in the streets and they don't have no true direction because they don't have no real leadership. And I
Right.
would like to see that shit change. I would like to have the OGs because a lot of y'all are successful. I know a lot of OGs, real OGs that are super successful. Just imagine
Right.
y'all, you know, formulating programs for these young kids to actually be active in a positive way and really put
Right.
in work and put in
Right.
pain in politics and pain
Mm-hmm.
in government to let these
Right.
niggas know we ain't fucking around. And and
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I think I'll feel more secure in my neighborhood if that kind of thing was happening. And I know it'd be less destruction in the streets, but let me stop rambling. Yeah, shout out to you. Is there any final shout outs? Anything you would like to say or any
You know, shout out.
messages?
Yeah, shout out to the church, man. Shout out to all my comrades behind the wall, man. Free all the blazers, man. Free all the real rights. You know, everybody that deserve to be home, man. You know, that deserve a second shot, man. You know, but definitely shout out to the church. Shout out to my family. You know what I'm saying? The Low family, the Low clan, man. Shout out to Chilo, her family, man. You
Yes,
know,
I'm Chalo.
y'all already know what it's sitting for, man. D1, S1, Hocus, man. Dollar, you know, Tank Blazer, Rare, Vol Buggs, you know what I'm saying? Lil Vol Buggs, and my son, man, Rob Lowe, man. Free Rob Lowe, man.
Yes,
Low
and
temp, free low
and
temp,
thank you for your
free amp low.
hospitality. Yeah, and thank you for your hospitality. You know, because I'm
Not a
from the East
problem. You know
Side.
I'm always here for you. Not a problem.
Yes, and we family, so you know it is what it is. But I'm gonna let you go.
All
Have
right,
a
all
good
right.
night, and we gotta do
You
this shit
too.
again. And please keep me posted about Pistol Pete, yo.
I definitely will.
All right,
Definitely
much
will.
love.
All right, later.
Later. Yes, yeah. Now that's what the fuck you call an exclusive. I'm sorry, y'all, that y'all couldn't really see me. My fucking step and repeat fell, and I gotta get that fixed. So I try to do like some quick shit and put like green paper or whatever. That wasn't working. My camera's acting funny. So I don't think motherfuckers, the powers that be, want me to be great. But we still pushed through that motherfucker, and the content was definitely content, and you know he shared a lot of dope stories and um traditions, and you know just it was humbling to me. That's you know when I look at a lot of these gang talk videos, you know, uh, they don't it glorifies the street a little bit too much, and I get it. Everybody got their hood stories. I get it. You know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? And those that really know me know I get it. You know what I'm saying? From my background and my personal legacy. You know what I'm saying? But I think we got to be the change that we want to see. And if brotherly love overcomes our oppression or however it go, and I know Crip got the same kind of messaging in their name too. I don't know what it is. You know, tell me in the comment, and thank you for telling me in the comment. We need to get back to that. I want to see a new age Black Panther Party. I love the Black Panther Party. Are you kidding me? I want to see, and rest in peace to Matulu Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I want to see another Black resistance where we sitting here taking care of ourselves. Like Rob Lowe was just talking about history. We already know the history and how motherfuckers like to infiltrate on us. You mean to tell me we didn't learn that lesson yet? And we can't maneuver smarter out here in these so-called streets, quote unquote. If you was looking at me, you see I got the air quotes. Shout out to Rob. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I even forgot to ask him. He diminished a beef in the Bronx and Patterson with Bloods and Crips too. I mean, he told the Ruck story, but he has his own story too. Shout out to Mac Mean. Go look at Mac Mean. Mac Mean has that story on his platform, you know,
trying to squash beef so that the neighborhood could be safer and healthier. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it was a situation where bullets was flying and he stepped up to the plate where everybody else would have mind their business, or where everybody else would have added to the situation or instigated the situation. He deaded that shit. So, you know, he gets my respect. And shout out to everybody who is a part of Sex, Money, Murder. And I hope we could change the narrative and get better soldiers on the team. Because I'm sorry, me personally, the whole thug situation, that shit is sad and embarrassing. I don't like it. And I'm not even blood. But, you know, to each his own. But anyway, stay safe, y'all. Let's continue to evolve. Let's stick together. I think one of the main words was unity. Let's unify. Let's put our differences to the side. Fuck color. I mean, not fuck color, no disrespect, but fuck all certain things, certain petty things. And let's really have our eyes on the motherfucking prize. Because our babies is out here. Y'all not 20 no more. We not 20 no more. We grown, got our own kids. Possibly our kids got kids. I'm not there yet, but I know some of y'all are. We got too many generations walking around now, and we need to do better. We know better. It's time to do better. And with that being said, thank you for everybody that was tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I love y'all. Peace, y'all. See y'all next time. Live at Radio.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and share. But most importantly, subscribe and hit that notification bell. ChaChaLive.media. Let's get it.